In 1811, a group of English weavers began smashing mechanical looms in the factories of Nottingham. They called themselves Luddites, after a certain Ned Ludd, who probably never existed. Their rage was real, machines were destroying their jobs. 200 years later, economists used the expression Luddite fallacy to describe the mistake of thinking that technology permanently destroys jobs. History, they say, proved them right. The machines destroyed weaving jobs, yes. But they created millions of new jobs the weavers could not have imagined. That logic held for 2 centuries. But now there is a question that even the optimists are taking seriously: what if this time is different? In the previous episodes we saw how the digital economy transformed markets and how digital money challenges the financial system. Both transformations change the rules of the game. But the one we are going to explore today affects something that touches the lives of virtually every person: work. If advanced automation and artificial intelligence can do what humans do, what will humans do? Let us start with what we know for certain. Technology has been destroying and creating jobs since civilization began. The Neolithic Revolution eliminated the hunter-gatherer way of life. Agricultural mechanization in the 18th century expelled millions of peasants from the land. The Industrial Revolution destroyed artisan crafts and created factory work. The automobile wiped out blacksmiths and carriage makers, but created mechanics, gas station attendants, highway engineers, and an entire transportation industry. In every case, the pattern was the same. Technology destroys jobs in one sector. Productivity increases. Prices fall. Demand expands. New sectors appear and absorb the displaced workers. The process is painful, sometimes for an entire generation, but in the end total employment recovers or even grows. This is what economists mean when they talk about the Luddite fallacy. For 200 years, technological pessimists have been wrong. Employment always recovered. The question is whether 200 years of precedent guarantee the pattern will repeat. Previous technological revolutions automated physical and routine tasks. A mechanical loom does what a weaver did, but faster. A conveyor belt replaces a worker who moved parts from one place to another. What machines could not do was think, interpret, create, communicate, adapt to new situations. Those capabilities were the safe haven of human employment. Economists called it the comparative advantage of humans. You can automate the routine, but the complex cognitive stuff will remain ours. Artificial intelligence is eroding that safe haven. Language models can draft texts, summarize documents, write code, and hold coherent conversations. Computer vision systems can diagnose certain types of cancer with accuracy comparable to human specialists. Trading algorithms operate in financial markets at speeds and volumes no human can match. This is not just about manual tasks. It is about tasks requiring cognitive abilities that until recently were exclusively human. A 2023 study by economist Erik Brynjolfsson and his colleagues estimated that approximately 60% of current occupations contain tasks that could be automated with existing or foreseeable near-term technology. This does not mean 60% of jobs will disappear. It means most jobs are going to change profoundly. This is where economics meets genuine uncertainty, and where we must be especially careful about neutrality. Technological optimists argue that AI, like every technology before it, will create more jobs than it destroys. David Otter, an economist at MIT, has pointed out that many current jobs did not exist 30 years ago. User experience designer, data engineer, social media manager, innovation creates occupations we cannot predict from the present. Pessimists respond that there is a qualitative difference. Previous revolutions automated physical capabilities, leaving cognitive ones to humans. This time, AI automates cognitive capabilities. Where do workers move when machines can do both the manual and the intellectual? There is a third group that avoids the dichotomy. They argue that AI will not replace workers, but tasks. Most jobs are bundles of tasks. If AI handles the routine ones, humans can focus on those requiring judgment, empathy, creativity, and social interaction. The result would not be mass unemployment, but a deep transformation of what it means to work. The data so far are ambiguous. Mass technological unemployment has not materialized yet. But the quality of employment has changed. Mid-level jobs, well-paid and stable, are hollowing out. What is growing is highly skilled, well-paid jobs on one side, and precarious, poorly paid jobs on the other. Economists call this labor market polarization. Faced with the possibility of massive labor displacement, an idea that had spent decades on the margins has jumped to the center of the debate: universal basic income, or UBI. The proposal is conceptually simple. The state pays all citizens a fixed periodic amount, with no conditions. It does not matter whether you work or not, whether you are rich or poor. Everyone receives the same. The arguments in favor are several. First, it would eliminate extreme poverty at a stroke. Second, it would enormously simplify the welfare state bureaucracy. Instead of dozens of programs with different requirements, a single universal payment. Third, it would give people a safety cushion to adapt to technological changes, retrain in new skills, or start businesses. The arguments against are equally powerful. The cost would be astronomical. If you give €1,000 a month to every adult in Spain, you are talking about more than 400 billion a year, more than the entire state budget. Critics point out that many people would stop working, reducing output and tax revenue. And there is a philosophical objection: is it fair to pay someone for doing nothing? Finland conducted the most rigorous experiment to date. Between 2017 and 2018, 2,000 people randomly selected from among the unemployed received €560 a month with no conditions. If they found work, they kept receiving it. The results were mixed, as almost always in economics. Participants did not find more employment than the control group. But their well-being improved significantly: less stress, better mental health, more trust in institutions and in other people. The debate remains open. And it is not just technical. It is a question about what kind of society we want to build when machines can do much of the productive work. There is another factor that intersects with automation and is often overlooked: demographics. Japan, South Korea, China, and much of Europe have rapidly aging populations. In Japan, nearly 30% of the population is over 65. By 2050, Japan's working-age population is expected to have shrunk by more than 20 million. In that context, automation is not a threat. It is a necessity. Japan has spent decades investing in robotics precisely because it does not have enough young workers to care for the elderly, run the factories, and maintain services. While some countries fear robots will take their jobs, others fear not having enough robots to compensate for the lack of workers. Automation is not a uniform phenomenon. Its impact depends radically on the demographic, economic, and social context of each place. Automation is not just a problem for economists and technologists. It is a problem for families. When a factory automates its production line, it is not numbers that lose their jobs. It is 50-year-olds who have spent their entire lives doing the same work, who have neither the time nor the resources to retrain, who live in towns where that factory was the main employer. The mechanical loom destroyed the weaving trade in one generation. The weavers did not live to see the millions of jobs that industrialization created afterward. The fact that the economy recovers in the long run is no comfort to someone who loses their job today. The technological transition may be positive for society as a whole. But the costs are not distributed equally. They never have been. And the question of who bears those costs, of how to compensate the losers of automation, is as important as the technology itself. First idea: history shows that technology has been destroying and creating jobs for centuries. The pattern has repeated in every technological revolution. But artificial intelligence could be qualitatively different, by automating cognitive capabilities in addition to physical ones. Second idea: universal basic income has gone from a fringe idea to a serious debate. Experiments like Finland's show benefits in well-being but not in employment. The debate combines economics, philosophy, and politics. Third idea: the impact of automation is not uniform. Demographics, economic structure, and social policies in each country determine whether robots are a threat or a necessity. The costs of the transition are never distributed equally. Automation, digital money, platform monopolies. These are disruptions we are choosing to create. But there is an economic challenge we did not choose. The planet is warming and the bill is arriving. Next time, the economics of a warming planet.